Hello and welcome back to Factorio Space Exploration and Krastorio 2. So, today I think we're working on Astronomic Science Pack 2. We are having some very specific issues right now, especially here in our orbit base. So unfortunately, we're really struggling to fill up the bots. A part of that is our bot production on Novice, I think. Which has become better over time. The last hour we have been doing 60 frames per minute. So we are filling them up at around 60 per minute. Now, here on Novice, we are losing around 10 per minute, which means we have a rough estimate of 50 to put into our orbit network. And up here, we're losing almost 50 per minute. Part of the problem, I think, is bots idling around these parts. So they're not able to charge quick enough. And this is with us having only 2,000 out of the 5,000 bots in the system that we want to have. If we look at this, we will get access to this. And this can charge 64 robots at a time at a very high speed. It's not free to craft by any means. But if we can alleviate the charging problem up here by building a couple of them here, maybe even in our science area and around this area where traffic is the highest, maybe we can avoid some of these bots dying. So that's why I want to go into astronomic science too. If we go even further, this is probably the goal kind of soon, to try and advance science in this direction so we can get the big roboports. Obviously, these are kind of expensive, but their charging rate is a lot higher. I wonder what their charging capacity per robot is. But hopefully they do have a ton more slots. It's hard to say, actually. But this has a max consumption of 4 megawatts. And this has a max consumption of 100. So this is around 25 times faster charging. The coverage area is also a lot higher, so can't just do that. But if we make a system here where maybe every other roboport is a big one, like this one, the one in the middle, and over here, we could have the superchargers in between, for example. Something like that would probably help us quite a bit, but that's a ways away. Now, the other problem that we have is that we're actually hitting the power ceiling here. And this is also very, very bad. So the first thing I'm gonna do today is we're gonna stamp out a couple of these here by the space elevator. Mostly because I can. And here. Okay, that looks pretty decent. Now we just need to fill them up here to the sides. I'm just gonna build the ones that actually get a full square. Like so. Wait, what? That was really fucking weird. Wait, so we don't have this roboport down here? Interesting. That looks pretty correct. Wait, what? Okay. A little bit too lazy to do that here. We could do that, but... We'll take this and remove anything that's not space elevator and power, basically. There we go. And last one. I don't know how much power this will actually be. It's around 1.2k. Okay, so it's about 2.1 gigawatts, let's say. So this would be around 8 gigawatts. Can that actually be correct? That would be a lot of power, my guy. That would actually be insane. But we're gonna let that construct for a bit. Now, we need to look at this. The aeroframe pole unfortunately does require beryllium. Which is this really unoptimized process. I think I need to go here, ideally. I think I need to go here, ideally. I'm not a huge fan of that. In my opinion. How are we doing with beryllium anyway? Okay, we're not doing that good, but it's working. And then the beryllium stick, we do have a decent chunk of those. It's just stacking up the stockpile. Okay. So I think we can ignore that for now, but beryllium and that orbit base there is definitely a priority soon. But the aeroframe pole, not too bad. Now the broad astronomic catalog does require new things. This we already have, so these two are easy. The microwave observation frame is just... Oh, we need a microwave telescope. Okay. And then for the X-ray observation data, we need an X-ray telescope. So we need 2 new buildings. We'll do that. We will get a thing there and then the X-ray thing there. This is going to be the microwave telescope. This is going to be the X-ray thing. Okay, that seems reasonable. That seems pretty reasonable as well. So I don't want a full stack of space assembling machines in here. So now I have actually decided that I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot. Because we don't have enough of this. And I need a lot of that. to do these. What a terrible idea I just had. Okay, with a little bit of cleanup here, we might do a bit of this, but... Oh, I also removed this platform. Let's do that as well then. This, we don't really need that anymore. Is there any better way I can make this scaffold? No. There is not. There is not. Fuck. Okay. This is gonna take a little bit of time then. So I have a sneaking suspicion. That this has not counted every single platform that we need. And we are right now making about 40 per minute. Maybe 60 per minute could be an average. So that's 650 for 10 minutes. And at that point, this calculation becomes really annoying. Okay. There we go. Fuck that. I'm gonna keep this one because I would actually like to be able to copy it later. Okay, so this was a terrible idea considering we're already losing an insane amount of bots up here. Mistakes were made, lessons were not learned. We're having trouble emptying these as well. A lot of trouble emptying them. We are stacking up a little bit more bots here now though, which is good. Okay, I'm gonna have a little bit of a pause here and wait for this to construct. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I am back. So, we have now gotten these. And I'm seriously questioning the viability of even continuing to produce things here with bots as it is right now. But that's another story. So we actually need probably to request... I'm gonna leave that for now. Okay. So let's take a look at this. I'm gonna try and build it close to what we already have here. because this is the 100 degree, minus 100 Celsius thing already. Now, if we start by getting this, like so, we're gonna have to wait for this to get queued up and constructed. We are going to actually research these things first so I can construct them. But that should be quick, yeah. And then we have the Science Pack 2. We are gonna have to start transitioning to full train-based science production soon here. We are just bleeding robots in space. But we are getting to the point where that infrastructure will be actually possible. Because we are getting a little bit more empty construction spaces and everything. So it will be not as terrible. So you'll output a junk data card, which is correct. You will also output a Science Pack 2, like so. And you are able to output a whopping 652 science per minute, which is a lot. I think we're gonna cap this at half. So we're gonna do about 80 per second broad astronomic catalog. That's gonna be the plan. And here we go with that. I need some requester chests. And then I need this, yeah. We'll need that. And this output here will go here. Now we also need some power for this. Just gonna put that there. So you will need this. We can take 50. You will need astronomic insight. We can take 50. You also need the aeroframe pole. Let's request 1000 here. Ooh, right, this is the different build. This is indeed the different build. So we need some long boys for this. And you need to request the old science pack as well. I mean, so far, so good, right? Now we need to do the broad catalog. And I genuinely don't really know how much of this we're gonna need. I'll just do that here. You still need the 100C one. There we go. Some requester chests. Microwave observation data. We need X-ray observation data. Gravitational lensing data. And gravity wave data. So 4 of these. Should be enough. Which is a good... It's good for us. Because I don't have space to build more than that. The output here will be broad catalog data. Or broad catalog. There we go. And everything else should be the same. Now, we do need... Let's see if they managed to get constructed yet. This is a huge thing, yeah. This is a huge thing. Let's start by putting one here. I need to cool down some of this thermal fluid, which is not a huge problem. Okay, I cannot do this yet. Whatever, dude. I'll rotate this. We'll put power here. And then pretend like we have another one. We should have a fluid converter here, a single one. Like this. Let's put that here. Do that. Now you only need blank observation frames. And when I have this, do I need to make this in an astronomics facility? Okay, we need one to check out how much we need. Because that's going to be the key question here. How much do we need to satisfy this? And it's going to be 80. I'm assuming probably we need 2 of these. That would be a good assumption to make. we'll do that. This only needs one input, actually. So we'll put that there. Okay. So that was a very incorrect assumption. So this ratio is 10%, so we need 800 per minute of this. This will make 120, which means we can make 12. Let's request a little bit more of these frames or the poles. I think we're probably out. We're probably out. So increasing our beryllium plate production is high priority. Because I just can't support this right now. Okay. We're gonna have to make a stop at the asteroid belt. There's not really any way around that. Boop. Let's go in here. Let's go down to here. I should have probably brought some solar with me. Yes, I should have. Fuck. Let's go back up. Let's go back up. So we're gonna need to increase the power that we have there. For sure. Let's go over here and hope. Okay, we do have a chunk of these. Let's do that. Oh, no. Give me 80. Thank you. There we go. Very nice. Very, very nice. And then we go down. I'm also thinking that we should probably see if we can get some holmium accumulators to bring there. If we can make them. Can't make them in that. Okay, we cannot make them. Let's bring a stack of 100. We are going to here and here. It's a pretty good chance we'll hit that target. We have a lot of these, yeah. Let's start putting those in there. I think I'm gonna try and bring the spaceship back this time as well. I think that's the plan. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to fix the power. I want to fix a little bit of the mining so that we can mine more things there. And that's about it, right? So I have the solar panels. I have some accumulators. I have some modules with me. I have extra miners, but we don't have anywhere to mine except that initial patch. Okay. Let's go. So there's 2.3 million here. I don't particularly care about productivity here. We do actually have 100 more of this belt, so surprisingly, that part is fine. We can do this. To get a little bit more juice out of this. at which point we are struggling a little bit with power. Let's put these out here. Let's see how close we are with this. Okay, there should be a lot of headroom here. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's get a couple of flare stacks here. Let's not trash those. Alright, we can't build them here. Interesting. Let's build a bit more room here. So we have that going. We have gone from around 400 per minute to almost a double. I don't think this is gonna put too much strain on it. Let's put these here. Alright. So can I clean this up? Thank you. We'll put this here. How many bolts do we have here? Okay. There should be nothing in here now. Can we verify that? Okay. Okay, we do have some resources here. This... I'm just checking here. We're gonna put that in here. Oh, we don't have one of those. Let's put that there. Let's put these turrets up. Don't think there's any good way of putting another solar panel here. Okay. So that's fine. And we're gonna launch this to novice orbit. There's a ton of these now. Here. There should be nothing here. Okay. Let's go. And let's go. Oh, what the fuck? We lost a solar panel. Is that still here? That is still here. It's unfortunate. Is power gonna hold? Not really. We lost a significant amount of power on that. So this is gonna take a minute or so. I see. So over here, we are still struggling with the aeroframe poles. We should have a little bit more of this now. This should have increased slightly from about 100 per minute to, okay, almost 200 per minute. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We're already putting this on full productivity, so we should be getting a lot of those. This annoys me a little bit, but we're still doing quite fine. We should have enough to go back and get it soon. I'm wondering how I could have seen this. Maybe there was some floor missing here. Anchor. Where do we want to anchor? We can just put it here, yeah? That's okay. Oh, you're gonna use that roboport now to do your thing. Okay, we made it back. No big issues. Let's go back down here. We have to wait a little bit for this to be constructed. But we still need to do the X-ray thing. So the X-ray thing, I'm assuming, is going to be very, very similar. We'll put one out. We'll put a little bit of this, maybe. Some power. And another one. This needs the same kind of fluid here. Gonna put that a little bit further down. And unfortunately, I think we're gonna run into the same kind of situation here. We'll put one of these out. And this needs X-ray observation data. Okay, I'm gonna wait for this to be constructed. Be right back. Okay, and we are back. So, the ratio for this, we can do 312 X-ray observation frames per minute. And if we want to make 80 of this, we're gonna have to make 376. These don't consume any power at all, basically. We can just do this. Perfect. We're gonna take the fluid out like that. We'll have to put a decent chunk of these out here as well. And then... let's see how many we might need here. Okay, so we can actually stay like this. Oh, and you're gonna have some trash as well. You're gonna have 3 pieces of stuff. 2 of them will be trash. 1 of them will be X-ray observation data, which will go in here. And then it's going to be normal scrap and junk data card. And then we have scrap here as well. Just gonna mirror this for the viewing pleasure. We're gonna try with 2 inserters to start with. And this should result in a nice 80 X-ray observation data per minute. Now here on the other side for the microwave observation data, it becomes a little bit more complicated. Or not. Actually. Well, okay. It becomes a little bit more complicated. Because we need more of these. We'll put that there. We'll put that there. We'll swap these around. I'm gonna steal this beautiful technology. I will take it out here. And send it up there. I will send this up there. This will go in here. That will go in there. This cheeky little belt will go down here. We'll take these. Put them further down. Input, input. Thermofluid, thermofluid. We'll open a gap here. We'll do this, but I think we'll skip this one. I'm not even sure we can jump this distance, not gonna lie. Okay, so that is connected. Input, input. This has a similar setup to this, but this will be microwave observation data. And we'll get some power. Oh no. That's not even close. I was looking at the thermal fluid. It's 126. We're gonna need a ton of these. This is 300. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave it like that for now. And see what we can do later with this. We need to come up with a better design for this. But okay. Anyway, these other things here, we need a gravimetrics facility, which we don't have. Take this. Grab a metrics facility. Grab metrics facility. Put that in there. Grab Okay, this is a bit smaller. Where do we have our beacon? I'm blind as a bat. Apparently. Let's see what this becomes. You will have junk data cards as well. Can put those there. This only needs these frames. This needs blank observation frames. You're gonna need this. And you're gonna need the multispectral mirror. Let's do 200 there as well. We might need to put this floor over here. There we go. So how are we doing with this? Oh, you actually need the platform to stand on, yeah? You have reached 3,000 bots up here. Which is nice. This here is insane. You are lacking a lot of these things. Right, I forgot. You actually need some blank data cards as well. Let's go over there and fix that. I think the other one does as well. Pretty sure this requires blank data cards equally. And then here, oh, we need a laser facility for that apparently. Where do we have a laser facility? It's here. Let's put this here. You need a super cooled thing. So you need that. You need that. Remove that. And then we just need to output this here. You can actually do a pretty good chunk of this already. I'm gonna do that, and we reach 90. However, you're not gonna have enough thermal fluid for this by any means. So you're gonna have to operate at a lower rate. You only need astronomic data, of which we have a lot. So that's gonna be gravity data, or gravity wave data even. Let's remove this. We can. So how are we doing here? Not particularly well. This is not the correct one, is it? No, it's not. This is -10. Where the fuck do I put that? Jesus, genuine question. Where the fuck do I put that? Interesting. That's not uncomplicated. Do I have to build a loop for this here or what? I think so. So this is then this one. that we put here. Then whatever you can't cool, you're gonna put there. I think that's the only way. What an interesting process. We need another rocket here, please. We are up to 3.3k bots now. We're getting closer with this one as well, which is really nice. You will output junk data cards. Okay. You should be able to empty this out, yeah? Eventually. Okay. That looks like that's actually doing what I want it to do. We need this lensing data. Wait, are we out of cards? We are out of cards. We are out of red circuits. I'm presuming that that's not getting enough of this, and you are out of... What is it that you are out of? You're out of glass. And I think you were out of stone. Okay. But... Okay. Okay, maybe... Not really. But we do request... Well, let's do 50 maybe. Like so. And then we double this, and that should be fine, kind of. Every single build I'm building right now is basically bootstrapping something. And that's doing its thing. This broad catalog should eventually start working. Once we get these cards, this should probably eventually start working. This will then be the broad catalog. I'll start requesting this next time. I'm gonna probably end the episode here. We need to wait for this to be constructed. We need to take a look at stone again and see what the deal is with that. I know we have this stone mine, but this might not be enough. Oh, it's definitely not enough. Yeah, hopefully that's gonna become better so we can get the red circuits delivered. So this is gonna take a little bit of time. But at least we've finished the rough design of this pack. And I'm hoping that it's gonna be enough to bootstrap some science. I have a genuine feeling that soon, very, very soon, we'll need to start moving science out from here and into actual science blocks that are based on trains instead. Because there's a very real possibility that because we don't have enough bots and we are not hard capped, but it's a very steep increasing resistance curve to increase the size of the bot network here. We're already relying too much on them. So I need to alleviate that pressure by building actual builds for this. So we're gonna have to start looking at that soon. And I'm thinking, my first plan when I got to space was that we'd have one of these areas here, for example, dedicated to, oh, let's say, energy science packs. And we could do several of them in one area. But I think that's a mistake. I think we need one area for each science pack. And there are two reasons for that. One of the reasons is I think this gets a little bit too complicated otherwise. So if we can separate these in a more clear way, it's going to be easier for us to deal with this later when we need to scale this up. The other reason is some of these cards will be used in other processes. So we need a clear, easy way of getting those cards out. It doesn't seem to be true for every single process here. It doesn't seem like that's the case for every single. But I want to have an easy way of being like, okay, I need to export this. I need to make more of this. And the more we decentralize it and the more we separate it, the easier that task will be. So I think that's going to be the plan. I'll try to build these out between episodes so that we have these octagons fully built out. And then we'll take it from there. But almost done. Astronomic Science Pack 2. If you like my content, consider subscribing to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And have a really, really nice day.